Welcome to my coding school. In this video, we are going to continue with properties that can be applied to flex container. So here, we stopped at the align items, and then we said that this defines the default behavior of how flex items are laid out along the cross-axis on the current line. So the possible values being flex start, flex end, center, stretch, and baseline. So let's quickly get into that example so that we can get it clear. So I'll still set the height of the container. So here in the code, I'll come to the container, and then I'll set the height to 400 pixels like this. And then I'll save. And then if I go to the browser, you'll see now that we have 400 pixels, and you can see the board of the container. So now what I'll do is I'll apply this property here called align items. So here, align items, and then I'll start by setting it to a flex start, and then save. And then you'll see now that the items will be at the top. And then if I set it to flex end, and then now in the browser, you'll see now that they are at the bottom. And then if we go to center, save, come back to the browser, you'll see now that they are at the center. And then the other one is called baseline. So baseline, to get a good feel of it, what I'll do, I'll come to item 1, and then I'll set padding to bottom. I'll set it to let's say 10 pixels, and then I'll do the same for item 2. I'll set the padding bottom to 20 pixels this time. And then if I save, I go to the browser, you'll see now that all of them, these two that I've set the padding bottom have different sizes. So here what I'll do is I'll set this to baseline as here, and this what it will do is it will set the text at the same line, even though these items have different paddings or sizes. So now that's it for the line items. So let's get to align content. So this aligns the flex containers lines within when there is extra space in the cross axis. So the possible values are flex start, flex end, center, stretch, space between, and then space around. So let's look at an example. So here, I'll get rid of this, and then I'll set the property. It's called align content. So align content, and then I'll set to flex start. And then if I go into the browser, you see now that by default they will take up the entire portion of the container height. So I'll remove the height like this, and now you see that they will start at that point, and then flex end, save. And then here I do not see much difference. So what I'll do is I'll keep this flex flow. So now we'll see that they will get to that side, and remember that now we have a column. So this is the end of that column, and then if I set it to center, and then there will be at the center, we say that we also have a space between, and then space around. So I'll set the space space around to start with, and then check into the browser. I'll have that, and then a space between save, then into the browser we shall have this not much noticeable. So that's how we deal with align content. So let's get to these properties that set or that control the space between flex items. So now for this to work, we must allow this content to wrap. So I'll remove this property, and then I'll simply set the wrap of these items. So this one, I'll comment it out, and then we have that. So now I'll start with the row gap. So in the code, I'll remove also this. So I'll start with a row gap, and then I'll set it to 10 pixels to start with. Save. Go into the browser. Then if I reduce this browser, or if I add on the number of items here so that we can see it wrapping, I'll duplicate this below. Still few. Let's duplicate it again. So now you see that now we have this gap between the row, and then the other one can be column gap. This is the property here. Then save, and then you also see that the columns now they have this kind of spacing. Yes, so that's how this property works. But then the row gap and then the column gap can be combined with this single gap property. So instead of column gap, I'll just use gap, save. Then here you will see that now I started by applying it both on the rows and then on the columns. But then I can set the first value being the row, and then the next one 5 pixels being the column. Then if I save and then resize this, I will see that here we have 10 pixels and then 5 pixels. So that marks the end of the properties that can be applied on the flex container. So I'll start in the next video with Flex Student.